Crack open my eyes. Ooh, it smell like trouble. I gotta have it fresh, so I go to the safe zone.
All right, we back in the house, rocking red. We back for another session. Well, I had a rough week. Look, I got a glass of wine right here, y'all. Sip one with me. Y'all, everybody take a sip. Take a sip, please. It's Friday. Take a sip, please, everybody. Take one. Okay, let's get into this. All right. First of all, the storm last night. Did you lose power?
I did not. I was at my dad's house, and I was going to stay over there, but I ended up coming back to my apartment.
Did he lose power? He lost power?
Yeah, but he has a generator. He has a generator that he put in a few years ago.
I'm having my camera is doing some weird. Yeah, my camera's doing weird again. I don't know. It's being weird.
I could see the screensaver or whatever. I don't know if the recording is going to have you or not, but I'll just keep talking. Anyhow, the power went out over there, but it came right back on.
Yes.
And various parts of the neighborhood got power back at different times. Some of them got it back like 2 hours later. Some of them it took till today. I don't know how that works with Centerpoint or Texas.
Wow, it took till today?
Texas, New Mexico. No, I think everybody in Bay Ridge got their power back by sometime this morning. What about you?
Yeah, we were out. We were at the new restaurant off Nassau One. What is it called, mate? Finish Line? Walk-offs. We said
walk-ons. I love that place, man. I've been not to that. I haven't been to that one, but I've been to a few others, and did you like it? Man,
the boom boom shrimp, the boom boom po' boy, the boom boom, everything boom boom. The boom boom shrimp and the boom boom po' boy go hard. Like they got good reviews for me. But we were there, and when we went, it was a sunny day. I'm in couch, I'm like half work clothes.
Sunny day.
Yeah, and it was rest in peace.
I had to.
We're gonna get to that one. We're gonna get to that one.
I know we will, but you said it, and I.
Yeah, bro, that was surprising. When my wife said that, she was just strolling, and she was like, "Sunny day, dead." I was like, "No, what? Nah, he good." Like, nah, but but so yeah, we were at the restaurant, and it was nice out, bro. And we started going to the Nassau One, and we saw it was dark, and dude, when we got there, it just started storming, like it broke my umbrella. Like I got out with an umbrella thinking I got on slides and socks, dude. It was a nice day. And so we got out, it and broke umbrellas. We run up in the restaurant. And so we were there while most of the storm went through. When we came home, Dickinson was pitch black. Like stop signs were sitting out with the sandbags. So you knew they had already knew it had been pitch black for a while. Right? Yeah, it was pitch black for probably about 20 minutes. I started watching TV on my phone and grabbing lamps and stuff, and it was all good. It was all good after that.
I know we've all seen strange weather, but that was one of the quickest things that I've seen change in my life. I was headed to my dad's, and I looked off. I saw out towards the coast, like towards the bay. I saw lightning coming out of nowhere. I go, I think it's going to rain because I'm seeing lightning strikes, and it's not even dark yet. And then I get over to Bay Ridge. I go take a picture of some work that's being done over there. And right then I can see it coming pitch black. By the time I got to my dad's house, it starts to rain. Within 2 minutes, it's raining sideways. Within 3 minutes, it's hailing. And within maybe 20 minutes, maybe I'm wrong, but it stopped pretty quickly. And I'm like, that went from nothing to everything very quickly.
Yeah, bro, it was crazy. And that's why I was busy today. If it hailed.
And that's why I said you got some sudden business that might come your way. If you don't want to do the podcast today, I understand.
Yeah, no, man. I was out, and people, like a lot of people hit me. I've been in business so long, people hit me, and they just like, hey, remember that roof we were trying to get? I definitely need one now. So,
but I don't think the hail was big enough to really damage your roof. And your roof was effed to begin with. If that little bit of hail did anything to it, I'm no roofer, but I would.
Yeah, but it doesn't take a lot of hail. It doesn't take because the hail strikes they knock the granules off the shingles, so it could literally. It's like somebody taking the clippers and hitting you in your head. Did they mess up your haircut?
But But I mean, you had bigger problems lurking if that was enough to do
Yeah,
it. Maybe I'm
yeah, it
wrong,
was
but
most people like, yeah, man, we're teetering on the line. The insurance company won't give us to this storm, just put us over the mark. It happens sometime, like that. And I got 4 or 5 of them that's been in irons like that I've been working for months. I work with people on insurance claims because insurance companies are just short and tall of it. They're just dicks, bro. They do not want to give you money. My bad is noise, but the wife is cooking. I'm hungry. but yes, man, it's ridiculous like how bad insurance companies are. But yeah, but that was like you say, it was the fast. It was so fast that I went from I could make it in these slides. So by the time we got there, I'm trying to wrap trash bags around my feet to just run in the restaurant. And like, oh, we got an umbrella. We jump out with the umbrella. The wind blowing so hard, it immediately broke and bit them suckers backwards, like umbrella what's like.
Along that same vein, and I won't take up any more of our time on this, but unrelated to the storm, I started there was a post that went viral, unrelated to me, about one of those houses in Nassau Bay that's been lifted up that still has a garage attached to it. That it went viral. I helped it go viral, but it was somebody else that posted it, and it was this house right here, in Nassau Bay, and it went viral throughout the world on this
really
website. And I put a follow-up post up a few days later, and it's not going as far as the other one did, but I was just showing. I explained why they do this and how it got to this point. And
yeah,
I showed some. Have you seen these houses that have been lifted?
Along just about all the Deets Road is lifted.
Yeah, and in Dickinson, exactly. So,
yeah, everything's
people
lifted
in other parts of the world cannot even fathom how this could have happened. But more importantly, they don't read, because I put
put everything in there
thing in there, and I'm like, these are homes that were built around the NASA space station in Houston, Texas. Everybody in the world knows where that is. I said these were astronauts' homes. They were built and this is a swanky neighborhood, but the reason that these are lifted is because there wasn't a flooding problem until more recently, and these are all on these areas where I don't know how it works exactly, but somehow they have an incentive to do this, or they can't get
it's a government incentive. Yes, it's a government. It's a government incentive.
So the government pays for it, and then you are allowed to get insurance versus not having insurance. So there you go. Because people are like,
I don't know
why
if
are
you
they
know
lifting these 1960s brick houses into the air? And then some of the comments were so stupid. And because I mean, you could, if you read my 3-paragraph comment, or whatever. But go ahead. I mean,
but no, they've got. Not only that program, before the flooding, they've got another program. If you're in the hood, all you have to do is fill out paperwork. They will knock down your home if it's that bad and dilapidated and rebuild it totally free, up to a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. I've worked on it. I got family members who got houses. I've seen them like living in, like old school blue. If anybody from Dickinson know old school blue, we don't say what he do, but we know old school blue. And Blue's house been tore down for years, and they rebuilt his. I sat there and watched them rebuild the house, but that's just a program, and people don't pay anything for that. The government pays for that, and the insurances are paying for that because they're going to win with the money over the years, because they're going to lose to the floods and lose money on the property just going down. So it's in their best interest to raise these houses up, because they lost their butts messing around with the last flood. Like, it was so widespread, like they couldn't. What you gonna do?
Now, if you're going to build in Dickinson or Bay Ridge or a lot of other areas, you don't have to raise it up to that extent, but you have to raise it like 6 or 8 feet in Dickinson.
It depends on what side you're on. If you're on the outer side, you don't have to let. If you're on the right side of Highway 3, if you're going south, you got to raise anything
like
from down to 45.
As you're going towards 45, there's a lot of beautiful homes on Deets Road and off Deets Road, along Dickinson Bayou, all throughout that area, man. That was a very desirable area too.
Yeah, it's a lot of neighborhoods you can't see in Dickinson. Like, if you turn right off Highway 3 and drive through, like, right off Highway 3, like, to some of the parts that's like the hood part, but you go to, like, between Highway 3 and 45, there's nothing but neighborhoods in Dickinson, and a lot of them are here. They're $1 million homes. I used to do appraisals, not appraisals, but I did insurance. You know, I would go out and do stuff, and it would always show me the values. I could not believe how many $1 million homes were in Dickinson.
Just like Nassau Bay, a lot of those early NASA astronauts and engineers and people bought homes along Dickinson Bayou. People don't really talk about that. It wasn't just they bought homes everywhere, but that was a very nice place to get some more acreage for less money.
And you also get the waterfront property.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's waterfront property when you buy along Dickinson Bayou, right along the park. That's water. They're building new homes.
Why do you do it with quotes? Because it is water. What am I missing?
Man, come on, water. It's like 4 foot of mud water. That's not water.
It's not exactly Clear Lake, but yeah, you're right. It's not exactly Clear Creek either.
I mean, you're getting the water moccasins, but you're not getting getting the waterfront property. There's no waves right there. Like
for that. You can get out in the bay, with a boat and go fishing quick enough. Yeah. Or maybe not.
I mean, if people fish, people fish there all the time. You can't fish there. So if you're a fisherman, maybe that. But if I'm buying some waterfront property, I want to see some waves hitting the shoreline. Like I want waves.
Yeah.
I was down there. I went to visit Cap's parents this past Sunday. I went to see them Sunday, and we were at the beach. And we always go see them when we're down there. And
is that where you were wrestling and got tore up by your 14-year-old, 13-year-old?
Yeah. We were wrestling. I won the wrestling match, but that wasn't. I told him you didn't have to hit the high knees on me and run away from me and embarrass me like that. Like there was people on the beach watching. Like you ain't have to embarrass me. Like I'm 46. I'm like 3 times your age and then some. You ain't have to. But he looked like he was running on water when he hit them high knees. I just looked and man, I'm not trying to run after you. I was so sore the next day, dude. Like running in the sand and playing with a 13-year-old. We were out there about 3-4 hours. Dude, I was sore like I had worked 2 days.
That's what I'm saying. Think about running high knees and a little bit of surf and then wrestling a kid. And come on, man, when you were doing 2-a-days in football, you were tore up being 14, 15, 16 years old from not having worked out the whole time. Like at least I was. So imagine being our age and then trying to play with a kid like that,
Dude. And I tell him all the time, he's not a regular kid. I
think we're both in pretty decent man shape.
Yeah, we're in decent man. That's what I'm saying. We're in decent man shape. But he's no regular kid. He makes district and track. He's top scorer or touchdowns on his football team. Decent in basketball, but he's very athletic. Like, dude,
he's fucking you up, man, big time. He's breaking your knees and your legs and everything.
Dude, look. I can pick him up like nothing. He's still light in the butt because he's only like 120 pounds. But he made a smart move. Every time I tried to snatch him up, I didn't teach him this, automatically wrapped them legs around my legs. I couldn't get him up. I said, boy, who taught you that Who taught you that move right there? That's going to save you right there. That move keeps a lot of big dudes from slamming the mess out you right there.
Yeah, that's a move I've never used in my life because I've never got into wrestling matches mostly.
I had older brothers.
In real fights, did you ever get in wrestling matches when you were really fighting somebody? Not too much, but
okay, yeah. Okay,
I did 1 or 2 times.
Look, this podcast gonna get a lot of views on this one. I've had the most fights with the person I've had the most fights with is Rashawn Pamphlet. I've had at least 7 fights. I'm
not even surprised that I knew
we were boys. We were boys. We fought out. We got into it all the time. I had 7.
That's a big ass dude from what I remember.
So you better learn to lock them legs up so he can't lift you. So he didn't caught me a couple times. 2 times he tried to sneak me, but he has never punched me. I'm too quick for him. He has never hit me with his fist. Like he could never punch me.
But y'all were boys. That's not even what I mean. Like
it was like brother fights.
Really out.
We really got into it. We got into it like all of us. I got into it with Justin one time. I think me and Stone, the only 2 out of Cash Crew, never threw hands. But everybody else, we threw hands.
Even though I have fought most of my friends, not only one of the ones I'm still friends with now, because some of the other friends are like childhood friends. Because at a certain point when you're in your teenage years, you're not necessarily going to fight your friends like you would when you're maybe like between 7 and 12. Or no?
That was our rules.
Like, not really fight your friends. Like,
it was our rules. It was our rules. That's how we just called it square up. If you couldn't figure out how to get your argument across. We just said square up. When we said square up, you better have your hands ready because it meant like square up. Like y'all get it done right now. Squash this right now. Get it out your system. Go ahead and get all that anger out. Y'all go ahead, throw the blows you need to. We're gonna keep it fair. We watching the fight. Ain't nobody finna hurt nobody. But if he whooping your butt, we're gonna let him whoop your butt to a point to where you ain't got no more in it and he ain't got no more. And he don't want to fight you no more, and you don't want no more. When y'all both don't want no more, now y'all squash that, dap each other up, and now we go do what we need to do because we still crew. And that's how it was. And we just take it to the backyard. Take it to the backyard. Stop all that yapping. We wasn't about all that talking. Stop all that talking. Y'all arguing too much. Just go on back there because y'all both got so much anger. Go ahead and take it out. Because after about a good 4-minute fight, face facts. Everybody that got the anger out, you tired enough to talk now. After about a good 4-minute square, you tired enough to talk now. Before you all woofy, yeah. No, after about 4 minutes of scrapping, you all right, now we can talk about this. And sometimes it take that, bro. It take that. If people would do that still, we wouldn't have so much shooting.
I've even almost gotten in fights with a couple of people you're talking about, Iran and Justin. We never actually swung on each other, but we had a couple of times where it almost didn't and Iran, as I've mentioned before, gotten in fights when I brought him somewhere, my dad brought me and him somewhere.
You told me about that.
I mean, but many times Iran would be like, "Oh, I'm with this," and I remember how come on, man.
That's exactly how he fought. That was that's how I always got him. He had his fist way up here. I was like, by the time his fist get around, I'm gonna tag you up from the left side. You got that left too long. The left got to come way down, boy. And I'm ambidextrous. I can go southpaw. So my left, I would always tag him with that left. But to me, that was the 90s. That's
good
bro.
Growing up shit.
Yeah, that was the 90s growing up. You most of the people you became friends with, you had a good fight with them. And y'all
that's all I was saying earlier is like all the And even the friends that I got later that are more recent friends, we've almost fought each other because we're grown ass men. Anyhow, shout out to Ali Sadiq. I was watching.
Oh, you watched that? You watched it?
I watched that whole thing, man.
Man,
and that actually got me.
But it was funny. It was sad.
And I know you were coming in hot, and you want to do something else, and I get it. But I wanted to tell you, man. I watched that whole thing, and I met him a while back. Last dude. He's
a cool dude. Cool dude. I was watching it, and I knew him, but I couldn't remember where I knew him from. When he started like saying he went to Hastings, I'm like, yeah, I know him. Okay, I remember him. I've seen that dude doing comedy around. Not know him, but I've seen him doing comedy, on the internet. Yeah. I've seen his stand up, so I knew he was from Houston. But that special dude was like, man, I'm really impressed with all these comedians bringing this dark. It's not dark comedy. It's just they're bringing their form and like. Him being a D-boy, going to prison and bringing that side, man, D-boys need to hear that. That's like, I feel like my ministry is mostly, and I don't mean that nobody else can identify with, it's mostly for like D-boys because that's what I always identify with. Like I always identify with D-boys, but that getting to that status where you got so much bread and then having to go through those ups and downs of turning into a real man after you done had all this fast cash, that's something that a lot of people that I know, including myself, had to deal with, bro. And that jump off that cliff of having all that money and then having kids and having to get a real job, like that dropped you off a hard cliff, man. And like they say, the dependency of crack or any drug you deal is not just the fiend having the habit; it's you having the habit of having that much money. That's a hard one to deal with too.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've been a fan of his for a long time, and that picture's from 2017. It was about 2 weeks after Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah.
And my boy Kuyagenti told me to pull up over at Joe Joint on Fuquay.
Huh.
They were going to do. You remember the one on Fuquay and 45? It's not there anymore. But
yeah, it used to be a couple clubs. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was right after I'd been basically helped clearing up my dad's house for about a week and a half, and that was like the first thing I did that was normal.
Yeah,
and I went up there and I met him and I knew who he was already. I'd been a fan of his and I'd listened to a lot of his stuff, but I'll be honest with you. I saw that you posted this a couple hours ago and I started listening to it, getting ready for our podcast. And I did not know all those stories. I knew he was from Houston. I figured he
Yeah,
was from the Southwest because I could just tell.
you can tell
And
from what he say, the
he
stuff
kind of
he
told
talk
the whole
about. Yeah,
story. And it was, if you listen to the whole thing, man, I was about to cry when I listened to. I
dude.
had tears in my eyes about his sister, and
Yeah,
I did not know how much of a D boy he was either. I knew a little bit because I've listened to other interviews of his, but he really broke it down there, and he was, big time.
yeah,
So
dude. And when he tell you about stuff like that, it reminds me of like how we was in high school. Like he talk about pulling up when you underage. Dude, I pulled up at Creek in the 10th grade at 15, no driver's license, with a Regal that was a nice car at the time. Everybody was like, dude, who is this dude? The dude with the Alabama starter jacket got a car. Why a sophomore got a car? You ain't old enough to drive a car.
yeah,
So I gotta hide it because teachers and coaches know I'm not old enough. So I couldn't even get a parking permit. So how can I park my car? So I gotta park it across the street at Brittany Bay Apartments.
yeah.
Yeah, I got parked
Hey,
across there, and then they wanted to tow you sometime. So my car got towed out. It was all this stuff, but you got to do this when you out there hustling and you young, getting money at a young age. I identify so much with this one, bro. I
hey,
did, and then like I say, it's funny, but then when he gets to the part about his sister and
yeah,
losing, and the whole premise of talking about your losses more than talking about your, everybody likes to show on social media the good parts. Everybody tells you when they graduate, don't nobody post the F's they made in the class. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And
No,
that's
that
a
was
part of life. And if we did, I think if we did more sharing of that, man, people wouldn't be so depressed these days. I think everybody's depressed because they look at social media when they get depressed. And now you only seeing the good parts of everybody's life. They showing you the marriage. They don't show you the divorce. They don't show you the night that, they caught them cheating. They show you the
yeah.
marriage and honeymoon phase. They don't show you the losses, and that was his whole thing. And like I say, me and my wife was off that day. We were just looking for something to look at, and we had a new Fire Stick, and so my brother just loaded it up with all the good stuff, and so we just like going through the Fire Stick, and I just so happened to hit it, and it just caught me, and we just caught ourselves watching it for the
So you
whole.
didn't know Ali Siddiq before this?
I've seen him, at the chocolate factory, and just little 12-10 minute bits of him. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
man, that dude funny. And I kind of remember he was from Houston, but just it never clicked to me till he started talking about Hastings and he started naming places that I knew. And I'm like, hey, this boy from H-Town, this is all the way. Like, man, oh man. And so he started talking about it, but he started talking about things that, man, that is so cool. Like, how many, you always,
But
yeah,
I did know who he was before, but I didn't. But this was before he went on Joe. He's been on Joe Rogan. He's one of Joe Rogan's buddies. And that's another level of
yeah,
fame to even be on Joe Rogan. But Joe Rogan would have him on shit once a month if he
really.
could. He's that cool. I mean,
Didn't know that. Didn't know that.
He's a straight up H-Town guy, man.
I would say probably maybe I'm a avid YouTube comedian watcher, like so I typically the little clips just come through my feed, and I've seen maybe 10 or 20 of his, and so I knew his name. I remember I remember the name. The name sticks with you. It's not a normal name. He sounded like he was in got doggone Tony Tone back in the day.
Yeah, man. I swear, I got so that whole thing and him telling his whole life story was so personal.
It was dope, bro.
Hey, man, first of all, we're going to get to something else after this, but K. Rogers.
That one got me locked. When he said K. Rogers,
I was also a sacker at 16 at K. Rogers,
when he
bro, and I
said
found
K.
this the other
Rogers,
day. I found this the other day, and I just happened to still have it around.
yeah,
That
when he
really
said K.
resonated with
Rogers,
me.
dude, I put the remote down. You know how you hold the remote to see
That
if you're
was
gonna
so
watch
funny.
something? I put the remote down when he said K. Rogers. Me and my wife both looked at each other and bust out laughing. Like, oh my God, I put the remote down. I'm about to watch this. And like I say, it's funny in parts, but the storytelling on it was like,
Got you. Is that what got you?
the-
The little hook?
yeah, that was a hook right there.
Yeah.
He got me into K. Rogers. I was like, all right, remote down. I'm watching this. And I probably had 2 phones. It was a busy day. So I had a couple business phone calls. I old partner called. I done paused it and came back and still finished it that day. But it was not one of them things, bro. That boy said K. Rogers. I say, man, get the. I said, bro, that is just his storytelling was Dave Chappelle level. Put it like that. It was
Very
Dave
much so.
Chappelle level. It was Dave
He's in
Chappelle.
that circle. I'm sure they've done plenty of shows together.
Yeah. All right, bro. On a lesser note, all right, we got to go to it. Sunny day. I'm gonna get the picture that you sent me, bro, because that's the face I remember. Take a sip for the boy. Y'all gonna take one for him.
Out for you too.
Man, we talked about Sunny Day. We talked about Sunny Day before when we did the N-word night. That episode. If you hadn't seen that one, go watch that one. But man, we talked about Sunny. Sunny was there. I hit Cap last night, and he was like, "Yeah, man, they did a wellness check on him. They found him, dead in the apartment, man. And it's one of those things, bro. Cap said he had to kind of do the same thing a few months ago, and he kind of checked him like, hey, bro, we give a fuck. Like we checking up on you. Like, we care, bro. Like, if I'm calling you, answer the phone. Don't. And, he was going, man, divorce, man. I keep telling homeboys, bro, stop going through these divorces by yourself. Bro, stop that. Just stop it, bro. Like, all right, we get it. You a man. You're a man, Gina. Be a man. All right, I get it. But, bro, we still boys. We was boys when we was younger. We go through shit when we get older, bro. Stop. Lean on your boys, bro. Start kicking it with your boys again. Don't go through. I had a homeboy, man. I ain't gonna say his name, but I told him the same thing. He went through a whole divorce, and I found out on Facebook because I saw his wife change her last name, didn't change it back. So I called him and I found out he went through a whole divorce by himself. No, bro. No, that's what boys are for, bro. You lean on your boys, bro. Don't go through this by yourself, bro. This world ain't easy to navigate no more, bro. It's getting everybody. But no, you got friends, bro. Like, we were boys once. We're not gonna turn our back on you because you're going through a divorce and I ain't talked to you in 15, 20 years. We still boys. Yeah. It's a sad one, bro. It's one of those things, like I say, and my wife said it when she said it out loud. I just looked at her and said, why would you say that? She said, I'm reading. And I was like, oh, wow, what? Who posted that? And she said who posted it. And I was like, yeah, he would know. And I was just like, man, that's rough. But I knew he was going through some stuff, bro. I knew he was, like I say, Cap, when Cap was going through his divorce, I got on his butt, about him letting it get so bad before, I tried to get involved with him in that. Like, I know Ned. I know him. Aiden and Coco, man, them is my nephews. Like, I ride and die for them boys, man. Like, them, I seen them boys before they were born. But it's just, it don't make no sense to go through a divorce. And I tell all my homeboys, bro, I literally marry people. I literally do marriage counseling. Y'all see me go through 3 hardcore divorces, bro. I learned from this mess. I'm not just out here running through women. I know more than most men would ever think they want to know about women. You get 6 daughters and 4 wives in there. I got most of y'all beat. When it comes, that's just really on that. I ain't even talking about being single, but I just had a lot of experience, man. I was married for 10 years in the last marriage. All my relationships, I hadn't had a relationship, including freshman year at Creek, last less than a year. Most guys hadn't had a relationship over a year. I went with Keisha 9th grade year, all the way through 9th grade year. I was with my baby mama all the way from sophomore year to junior year. And then, okay, maybe I had a short little at late, but she was a virgin. That wasn't gonna last long. We knew that. Yeah. But like I say, I just had long relationships. I've experienced it, man. And it's nothing wrong when you're going through it to say it hurt, bro. I say it all the time. Dudes are more fragile than females. These females is gangster out here. Females is gangster. But these dudes, man, most dudes, they soften and they put on that persona because they real soft on the inside.
I've had 2 what I would consider real significant relationships in my life, and one of them almost turned into marriage. One of them could have turned into marriage, but we just never got engaged. And I'm still one of these girls I'm still friends with, and one of them I'm still cool with. We just don't talk anymore. I think both of them are married, but I've been very careful about this. But I, so what I'm saying is you've had a lot more experience and also raising daughters and things like that. But I'm not sure what I was gonna say about this, but having certainly leaning. If you don't have, I'm lucky to have a bunch of guy friends, my boys, like I'd say 5, 6 solid friends that are like my best friends, and including my dad, and then I have others too. I have people I can lean on. And if I
Yeah,
didn't have anybody else, I know I could call you
for
and
sure.
talk to you about it if I had, but I had, and people should use that, and people
Yeah,
should,
I mean, that's it. Anybody who watching this podcast, you on my Facebook page at any given time. Believe me, if you saw somebody who lost their wife, I've contacted them and said, bro, if you need to talk, I'm here at any time. Believe me, I do not take that part of my ministry lightly. Like, bro, I don't care who you are. Like, I've had people who ain't even friends to me just hit me up and say, man, I don't know how to deal with this. It was a person, I still don't know this person's name. They were gay, they were going to church, they didn't know how to tell. They would really love the church, they were in the choir, and they didn't know. And I just told them, be real with them. If they don't want to accept you because you gay and you love the Lord this much, then the Lord gonna have to deal with them. I mean, it is what it is. You definitely love the Lord. Lord ain't worried about your gayness. God ain't worried about who you sleep with. He ain't worried about that. God ain't gonna ask you about nobody else but yourself. So that's all you gotta worry about. And if yourself is happy, if you are happy, which is the greatest commandment, God ain't gonna have too many problems with you. Even if your love seems a little weird to other people. But I mean, that's the thing is, people need to know, guys need to know, bro, it's love out here. You don't, like, if you don't get it from a female, she left you, she took your house, she took your car, she took your kids, bro. She took your kids, she took your babies, won't let you see them. Man, holla at your boy. Believe me, I have been through everything you can go through, except for losing, like death. With that one I haven't, and I'm not trying to experience, but God willing, I won't. But besides that one, man, ain't much that you can go through with a woman I haven't been through. And I'm here for anybody who hear this. Anybody, bro. Please do not go through this by yourself. Holla at your boy. This is what I live for.
Yeah. To be clear, I'm not gay or anything. I'm just, but it's definitely been more difficult to try to have relationships in the last maybe 10 years than it was during those golden times when I was having those good relationships that I'm talking about that I'm not in anymore, but I have no malice or just ended when it ended. But that's a different story, man. It's we're all
speaking of that. You saw that question I asked earlier in the week about asking whether the man has slept with other men.
Right, and then I chimed in with my comment on that about these days, if you're going to talk to a younger girl,
you still got to ask that question.
I might have to ask her, have you been with men who have been with men?
See,
you know what I'm saying? Like, if I
the
care
crazy
about
thing about it is, like, I don't know if it's my
circle. About that kind of thing, then I probably could, which I do. I think I would. I don't think I would want to. I wouldn't necessarily want to be with a woman who's been with dudes who have been doing dudes.
Yeah, I mean, I've been with females who've been with other females. So, but for some reason, like my wife said, she said I got a double standard hard. She was like, "That's you see no problem with that one." She was like, "But you just can't." I was like, "I just can't." For some reason, maybe I don't know if I'm old fashioned. I don't know if I'm double standard. I don't know if I'm bigotry. I don't know if it's bigotry. All I know is I can't wrap my head. If a woman asks me that, like, that's the end of the conversation. You just disrespecting me, and the fact that you think that, we done. Holla at you.
What do you mean if I were to actually ask a woman that? Is that what you mean, or just
no? If a woman asks a man that, if a woman were to ask a man that,
yeah.
And see, I realized because
I've never been asked that by a woman before.
It's because your age group.
Never had a woman ask me that.
It's your age, dude. Because I found in that feed, if you go look in that feed, that the age is about 30 years old. If you're 30 or younger, it's normal to ask that. They're used to it. The guys are used to it. The women are used to it. If you're above 30, it's a little weird. If you're above 40, it is straight disrespectful.
I swear to God, if I never thought about it that way, but if a woman asked me that, I'd be like, "Fuck you, get out!"
Exactly, you would lose it. What do you think?
That's not a.
It's not shade. It's just how you would feel about it.
Yeah.
So I told my wife, and she was like, "That's such a double standard," because I literally been with other women, and I knew they've been with other women. It was whatever, but I'm just saying
these girls have all kissed each other.
Yeah,
all these girls have kissed their friends.
Yeah, well, I mean, a little different than kiss. I'm not talking about
or
kiss.
more
I'm
than
talking about
that.
kiss.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking. I've had my day. I'm not going to sit and say I haven't. I've had threesome or whatever, but I'm just saying I've also been with girls who were with other girls, and when I was single, and I was just, oh, that's cool. Like, all right, all right, whatever. That's what you do. Like, I ain't trying to wife you no way. That's what it is. All right, cool. But like I say, it didn't bother me. I didn't ask the question. They told me that. But it was, it didn't seem weird. But that was just like, and I was just watching The Breakfast Club, and they were trying to get C Murder. I don't even know C Murder real name, whatever her name is, Claudia something. And they were trying to get her, get her a date, and she asked one of the guys that straight up, like, have you ever been with another man? And I was just like, man, I'd almost hit the brakes of my car. Like, what is she doing? Like, whoa, why would she ask him that? Like, what made him?
Well, something about him makes her feel like she needs to ask him.
And see,
that.
I feel like something about
I don't know
you.
who this person is, so I wouldn't know what it is.
I feel like if she has to ask that question, it had to be something about you that made her ask that. Like a friend of mine in California said, my gator are pretty good. If I get anything sus, I ain't asking. I'm just cease and desist.
Yeah.
I mean, she's like, that's just it. If I see anything suspect,
woman. That's what I was going to ask you. That's a woman who says,
yeah, it's a woman. It's one.
A woman who's looking for a man, and if she feels like he might have done
anything suspect he does that, from anything you can call cliche, limp wrist, a little lisp on it, chin to chest movement, however you want to do it. It's like any of that makes you like. You all right? Too many musicals, a very high kick while you're dancing. All this stuff is signs.
2 minute musicals. I don't know what that means, but I guess that means like TikToks and shit.
No, musicals. I'm talking about musicals. Know the words to. I'm talking about Broadway musicals. All the words and all the parts. No, that's yeah. I'm talking or for some reason Cher. I don't know what Cher got to do with gay men, but they love.
I don't know why this popped into my head, but remember how funny Men on Film was in Living Color?
Yes.
Like, or even Blank Man. Like that was when Blank Man was terrible. Remember that? Remember they made fun of retarded people, and then
he didn't make fun. No, he did not. He did not. He actually was. If you go watch Marlon Wayans. God Loves Me, you find out Damon Wayans has a club foot, and he is actually handyman. One of his feet is yes,
and that's why he did this thing with his hand.
His foot looks like that, and his brother talks about it. He wasn't making fun. He found a way to empower himself because he had a club foot going up, and he wore. Yes, so he's not making fun. Like, see, we grew up thought he was making fun, and we wondered why he can get away with it. But he wasn't making fun. You got to watch Marlon Wayans' new God Loves Me, and he tells you that Damon Wayans has a club foot, and that's why he was the Damon Wayans that he was just being silly. Like, what if I was handyman and whoop your butt? Like,
well, my mom sort of had a little cleft toe. Are we done?
Yes, bro. It flies by. It flies by when it's good.
I thought you were going to shit on Trump.
We're gonna have to get Trump on the next one. Look, I tell you what, we're gonna hit another one midweek. We're gonna hit Trump midweek. Okay. I need some research on him. I gotta figure out all this stuff.
Vibe, man. I was kind of on a more fun, just
that's what fun.
I wanted to talk about
we'll get Trump during the week. We're gonna get him during the week.
Cornel West. I wanted to talk about that.
Cornel West and Trump, we're getting that all next episode. Because we gotta talk about Cornel West running for president. We gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about this.
Let me just tell you that I like it.
I think it might mess up some people, but I think it's gonna be good.
I agree with a lot of his points of view, by the way.
Yes. I think that's the next one. They need to tune in. Rockin' Wed, we going in on Trump and Cornel West next time. Hey, y'all.
God bless America.
Rest in peace to Sunny Day. Y'all, be blessed out there. Holla at your boy if you need some counseling. I'm here for y'all. Rockin' Wed, another episode. Peace.
Crack open my eye. It smell like trouble.